So we find out in this chapter that Luffy's hunger for meat cannot be denied regardless of what body his soul or shadow is put into, and Robin and Frankie come to the rescue.
One Piece chapter 457, Meat.
What, meat? What the fuck are you talking about, meat?
What a fun chapter, man. The excitement is just, it's getting thick in here. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, and I'm here to bring you another review on the awesome and terrifying zombified, salt-ridden tale that is One Piece.
Now, our last chapter really saw us with, of course, Robin and Frankie told by Brooke what the weakness of the zombies was, and that, of course, is if you put salt in their mouth, it will separate their shadow from the zombified body and return the shadow back to its original owner. But really, the end of the chapter was the double-page spread with this huge horned beast that looks like something out of Diablo, some sort of just nightmare terror, this berserker from 500 years ago in the land of ice, known as Or, this beast, and that's what they're going to put Luffy's shadow into, right? So that's how the chapter leaves off, and that's actually right where the chapter picks up. And it's kind of funny because you've got Nami, Usopp, and Chopper hiding inside of the zipped-up stuffed animal, like that came back to life zombie, Kumasi, which is Perona's underling, right? And it's funny to see the different underlings of these different three, because Dr. Hogback's underling, Sindri, he wound up not really instilling the right type of commands in her to listen to him no matter what, so she talks back a lot and talks shit to him, breaks the plates all the time. He even says something to the effect of, I wish I had done that, because he sees Gecko Moria going, and as he puts the shadow into the beast from Luffy, he says, you're gonna listen to me, and blah, 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 And he's like, I should have done that with Sindri, maybe then I'd get to eat off of some plates, and she's like, I hope you crack your kneecaps. And it's just funny because there's many times during the course of, so far anyway, these last 15 or 20 chapters in Thriller Bark, that Sindri has just come out with some kind of mean-ass wisecrack to him. But then on the other hand, we've got Perona, and her little minion, Kumasi, is basically told all the time to just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Don't talk, don't speak, you can't talk, right? And then Absalom, of course, we know about his minions all think that he's a pervert, and Lola, who's kind of one of his main minions over there, is completely in love with him. So very funny to see those little subplot and characterizations going on. But back to the matter at hand, right? So as they're hiding inside and shaking in terror as they go and they're kind of peeking out to look and see, this Luffy shadow is kind of struggling, and Gecko Moria goes and tells him, no, you would be obedient to me. And he goes and he jams this Luffy's shadow into this beast, and the beast starts to slowly awaken, right? Starts breaking off the chains and starting to move. I mean, this thing is nasty looking. Again, this thing is just terrifying. If anybody ever read any of the Spawn comic books by Todd McFarlane, or saw the movie, or there was actually an HBO cartoon that was actually pretty good. It was 2 or 3 seasons of it. But anyway, this looks like some kind of just hell spawn demon from the nether realm, definitely very, very neat stuff, and drawn very well. And huge. I mean, just huge, just immense, the proportions. So anyway, they wind up going, and I think it's Nami who winds up screaming, and she's just like, ah! They just freak. And basically, the cat's out of the bag. They literally fall out of this thing and are discovered. And then as they're going to go and they're about to capture him, they go and they look over at the beast. Everybody does, Moria and all his minions. And the beast is starting to move. And the first thing the beast says is, meat! Sanji, you need meat! And they're like, who's Sanji? What the hell? So even though, the will of Luffy is so strong that even though the shadow fruit was used by Moria to take his shadow and put it inside this beast, and he was commanded and everything else, Luffy's will, just like Sanji's and Zoro's, is that strong that it's shining through. It's coming through, and the first words out of his mouth are something that's very Luffy-centric, So there's definitely hope for him, at least that's how... And even Chopper and Nami and Usopp wind up making a comment about that, because they go and take off, man. They Scooby-Doo it out of there, man. You just see nothing but feet and dust, and they take off, right? So as they take off, Absalom winds up going after them, and he turns invisible and winds up knocking Chopper and Usopp down the stairs, reappears, and he's got Nami, and she's like, oh, he's so strong. And I just cannot wait until somebody just slaps the shit out of this Absalom, man. I just absolutely despise the character. And, and maybe it's because he fondled up my girls Nami and Robin, Robin and Nami actually respectively in that order, and I'm not too cool with that, and I think it's just because I really enjoy and like those characters, and actually Nami and Robin are two of my favorite Straw Hat characters, mainly for their supporting roles, their background, they just, for me, they add a lot of different things to the actual series, and everybody adds something in their own respect to it. I'm really liking Frankie, and a lot of his different things that he comes up with. He's very much like the Usopp, but more of a straight up inventor, and the shit that he comes up with, he can obviously use on a bigger scale than Usopp because his strength and everything like that. But that's getting off the beaten path. So anyway, as Usopp goes and pulls out his cool, long, we call it slingshot type deal that he's got now, right? And goes and he's like, if I can't even save one woman, 6 stars. Fires something. Absalom disappears. They can still hear Nami. Chopper can smell Absalom and just his dirty, perverted, nasty nature, but they can't see him, right? And then all of a sudden, as they're surrounded and it seems like all hope is lost, the zombies are closing in around them, they're going to steal, their shadows are going to take them, all of a sudden we see a zombie. Shadow starts coming out. Oh, zombie, another shadow starts coming out. And then you go and you see the shadow of Frankie and his big ass Popeye arms. His forearms, man, are just like insane. Like, his forearms are like that. And that's only because of the perspective, because my forearm's 2 feet in front of where my face is. But he's got these giant forearms. And he just, and then you see Robin and they're going and they're releasing all these zombies and obviously taking them out in the process, but releasing their souls from them as well. So very cool stuff over there. We just kind of see that, and it's a small win for the team right now, but ultimately it helps to go and bring some of them back together, the ones that still have not been captured. Now remember though, the beasts have been captured, okay? As far as your monster trio, your Luffy, your Sanji, your Zoro, those three, we're going to have an uphill battle trying to get them back, but they know they got to get back to the ship. That's actually where Usopp and his group were going to be heading towards until Nami got captured. Now Nami's been captured by Absalom, but at least we've got Usopp, Chopper, Frankie, and Robin, those 4 together, and at least for the time being. So that's how the chapter winds up actually ending off with them kind of coming in there and just saving the day, man. It's great, big bro, and the way we just get this, and looks like we're too late. One of them's missing. Usopp, Chopper, are you hurt? And I kind of like this too because seeing the different character building and the camaraderie amongst these characters. Robin is still very much a newer face in the sense that, yes, she's been around since very early chapters, but she didn't join up until a little after chapter 200, 220-ish, maybe 250, whenever it was that Alabasta ended. And then you didn't see a ton of her in Skypiea. She had her moments, but you didn't see a ton of her, in there. And then really after that, the whole Water 7 and Enies Lobby thing, she was captured for the majority of that. So the first half, you didn't know if she was good or bad, if she had sold the Straw Hats out. So Robin, to me, is still very much, in a lot of ways, a very fresh character, and it's nice to see, after the events of Enies Lobby, her just kind of gelling with the team that much more. And then Frankie, too, he just joined up, right? I mean, he was helping them all throughout Enies Lobby over here and on the train to Enies Lobby, but now we're getting to see him in action and some of the things that he can do, and I think that's very cool because, you always see Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji and what they do, and this particular arc seems to be putting some character focus and character development on some other characters that are not have not been seen as much or haven't had as much screen time, so to speak. So I think it's very, very cool and it's very well done. My chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is what are your thoughts on the different character background and character matchups that you've seen so far in this arc? I personally think that initially it was nice to see the beasts going through the island looking like they were having no issues. And then, of course, Luffy, or want to be in Sanji, Zoro, and then Luffy getting picked off, the 3 strongest ones. And then the 3 weakest ones, Usopp, Chopper, and Nami, getting in and out of predicaments in these very wildly type of ways that you just would not expect. And then, of course, the same thing goes for now Robin and Frankie, kind of the the unwitting, unwilling team up between these two, but really getting to see them shine. So let me know what your thoughts are, though, on the different character matchups and what has been your favorite so far in this arc up to this point. Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation. Remember to check out my other channels and follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all of your support.